It's been a while since we talked about Malaysia versus Singapore. Let's do something interesting. Let's talk about the ringgit and the Sing dollar. You may have heard about the ringgit's lousy performance against the mighty US dollar. The numbers are indeed cause of concern. At the start of the year, it took 3.27 to get 1 Sing dollar. But now, it's 3.45. Alarming, right? But how did we find ourselves in this mess? To understand the situation we are in, let's compare how Malaysia and Singapore manage their foreign exchange rates. The value of any currency in the world actually depends on how its regulatory body, very often a central bank, controls the money supply in the market. In Malaysia, the value of the ringgit is normally determined by the demand and the supply of the currency. If the ringgit increases in value too rapidly, it can negatively impact the economy, especially the exporters. When they convert their foreign currency earnings back into ringgit, they receive fewer ringgit, resulting in reduced profits. To prevent this from damaging the economy, Bank Negara, which is our central bank, intervenes by reducing the interest rates, creating a situation where it is less attractive to hold the ringgit. As more and more people start to sell the ringgit, the value will drop, and this is going to stabilize the exchange rate. Similarly, if the ringgit depreciates significantly in a short period, this time businesses relying on imports face higher costs as they need more ringgit to pay for the same amount of foreign currency. In this case, Bank Negara raises the interest rate to make the ringgit more attractive, hoping to increase the demand and raise its value back to a manageable level. Now, in contrast, Singapore takes a different approach. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, which is their version of Bank Negara, doesn't adjust the interest rate to influence the demand and supply of their currency. Instead, they buy and sell their currency directly using their foreign reserves to maintain the price of the Sing dollar around a certain range. This approach avoids relying on interest rates and allows for quicker stabilization of their exchange rate. This is unlike Malaysia, which increases the attractiveness of the ringgit via higher interest rate for other investors to be more interested in it. However, this doesn't mean that Singapore is manipulating their currency. It's not like they will fix the Sing dollar to any price that they want. All they want to achieve is to ensure the Sing dollar remains stable and sustainable, preventing excessive inflation or deflation. To give you a better understanding of how they do it, the MAS tracks a basket of foreign currency to make sure the Sing dollar stays within a healthy range. Now, you must be thinking, if I know the composition of this basket, I can predict where the Sing dollar could be heading, react accordingly, and make a profit for myself. Well, you are smart, but they are not stupid too. The MAS does not reveal the composition of the basket of currencies that they track in order to prevent any attempt of manipulation. Now, the recent increase in the US interest rates highlights how the different approaches of Malaysia and Singapore yield very diverse outcomes. While the Sing dollar may not depreciate as much due to MAS's policy adjustments, the ringgit may experience greater depreciation because Bank Negara does not raise interest rates as much as the Federal Reserve. This explains why the Sing dollar did not depreciate as significantly as the ringgit when the US dollar strengthened. Next, you might wonder why Malaysia doesn't fix the ringgit price within a certain range like Singapore. In the past, we actually did something similar. During the 1998 Asian financial crisis, we were facing significant economic turmoil, threatening to sink our currency. To protect the economy, our then Prime Minister Tun Mahathir pegged the ringgit to the US dollar at a fixed rate of 380 to a dollar. This helped stabilize the currency during the crisis. We are no longer a victim of the unpredictable tides. The rate of our ringgit stood resilient amidst the violent waves, shielded against speculative attacks. This strategic decision gave way to stability in a sea of chaos. Eventually, the peg was removed on the 21st of July 2005. But why? Wouldn't a fixed exchange rate be good for everyone? Think of it like this. While a stationary boat is ideal in rough waters, when a storm has passed, you will want the boat to be able to move freely again, to go with the flow of the current. Similarly, once the crisis was over, it was more beneficial for the ringgit to be able to respond to market forces. That way, only foreign investors are willing to come and trade with us with a fair value of our currency. We have to remember that pegging the exchange rate is not easy and definitely not free. It is an expensive exercise. In order to maintain the rate of our ringgit against a target currency, the central bank has to keep buying and selling its foreign reserves to push the rate up or down accordingly. In extreme cases, what if one day Bank Negara sold all of its foreign reserves in the process? Thankfully, it hasn't happened to Malaysia before. But I know a place that is facing this issue right now, and that place is Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a trading economy. It is very connected with the global market. Because of that, a stable currency is key for Hong Kong to thrive. Since 1983, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority pegged the Hong Kong dollar to the US dollar, currently at 775 to 785 a US dollar. This band was set in 2005 and it has never been broken before. When it gets too close to one end or the other, the HKMA intervenes, either by buying or selling the Hong Kong dollar. But in the last 18 months, US interest rates have been hiking. More and more people are attracted to buy the US dollar. This has put a lot of pressure on Hong Kong dollar to maintain its peg to the ever-increasing exchange rate of the US dollar. To make things worse, the slow recovery from COVID-19 pandemic and political tension between the East and the West is causing a lot of investors to leave Hong Kong, selling their Hong Kong dollar in the process. To maintain the peg against the US dollar, the Hong Kong Central Bank is burning through a massive chunk of their own US dollar reserve to buy back Hong Kong dollars. So much, in fact, the liquidity level in their banks has gone down by more than 90% since the highest point in 2021. Legendary investor Bill Ackman tweeted last November that it is only a matter of time before the peg breaks. If this happens, everything that Hong Kong tries to fight falls. Stability, being a global financial center, are all set to collapse. This just goes to show that pegging a currency, while potentially effective short-term measure in times of crisis, can lead to problems down the line if not reconsidered when circumstances change. And that's why Malaysia decided to unpack the ringgit when we did. We saw the storm had passed and we knew the ringgit needed to be free to navigate the calmer waters. Our ringgit has seen some depreciation against the US dollar. But should that be the main cause of concern? No, it's part of our larger plan, our managed float system. It's a strategy that provides us the flexibility to navigate the rough seas of global economics while protecting the treasure of our foreign exchange reserves. Economic strength, it's not defined by the exchange rate policy alone. Let's not forget the pulse of our nation, the economic fundamentals, our investment climate. These are crucial and it's what we should be paying attention to. Being able to maintain the freedom to shape our monetary policies, that's what will serve us, the rakyat, in the long run. Take a look around you, right? The Malaysia of 2023, led by the new government, we have become a beacon attracting investments from all around the world. Just recently, we have attracted 14.6 billion worth of investments from Texas Instruments. Our Prime Minister is set to have a meeting with Elon Musk to talk about more investments in Malaysia. These investments may not immediately bolster the ringgit, but they are building the fundamental structure for robust economic growth, creating jobs and driving technological advancements in our country. The value of our currency is just one thread in the complicated numbers of our economy. Yes, a depreciation in the ringgit hurts us everyday Malaysians who consume imported goods and services. If it's sustained, can lead to a rise in the overall cost of living. But a weak ringgit can also mean a boon for our export industries, fueling economic growth in the process. So next time you glance at the Money Changers TV screen and compare ringgit to other currencies, remember that it's not just about the numbers. It's about the resilience, growth, and immense potential of Malaysia. Our story has just begun. If you want to find out a different side of the story, check out this video over here. See you on the next video.